Hi there, welcome. What you're about to watch is a recording that I did of a live webinar event called 3 Mindful Practices for Better Sleep. Now, later in the video, you're going to hear me mention about these 2 free downloads, and they're of guided meditations. I sent that to everyone who attended live, but you can still get it, so don't worry. Just go to the description of this video, follow the link, and then you can get your copy too. All right, well, with that, I hope you enjoy, and I hope you'll soon be on your way to better sleep. I'll just give a brief introduction about myself because I know not all of you are really familiar with me. So my name is Amy and I teach yoga. I've been teaching for 7 years now and I live in BC. So maybe you are here in BC with me. If so, welcome. If you're in other parts of Canada, welcome, or even beyond, welcome. So the reason why I did this as a workshop about sleep, how to get a better sleep, is because for me it's something that I have really struggled with for my whole life, and so I know what a challenge it can be, and I'm really in the process myself as well as really trying to focus in on a way, how can I improve, especially falling asleep initially. That's my biggest issue. Perhaps it's yours as well. So that's why I've come up with this workshop. So I'm hoping that you'll find some helpful tips because I know they've helped me. So hopefully they can help you as well. So as I mentioned, I've struggled with it forever. I have a very vivid memory when I was like 12 years old. My uncle made an offhand comment like, when I go to bed, I'm asleep within 3 minutes. And I was in shock. Like it has obviously stuck with me. I still think about it and it still shocks me. So it's clearly, since I was young, it's always been a problem. And it seems that there's those 2 types of people, those who fall asleep just immediately, and we're always so jealous of them. And then there's people like us who just doesn't come as naturally. We lay awake, we're thinking. So really there's, at least from my experience and from talking to other people, seems like there's the main thing is, not being able to turn off your brain. Your thoughts are whirling away. So you're thinking about maybe you're stressed. There's some stresses going on in your life. So you have that on your mind and you're worrying about it. And so it's keeping you up. Maybe you just have a lot to do the next day or the next coming days. So you're planning in your head, you're laying down and you're thinking about, oh, tomorrow I need to do this. I can't forget to do this. And so that is keeping you up. And then could also just be random daydreaming. Sometimes my mind just goes off and I just start thinking about, oh, a trip I had or what I want to do. Or so all of these have the same commonality, which is just that your mind, your focus, your consciousness is just being taken to somewhere that's just not letting your brain shut off. And so then you can't properly sleep. So that's what I'm here to help you with today, is how to refocus or kind of, center your concentration, put out those thoughts, put out those ideas or stresses or whatever, kind of set them aside, focus on the task at hand, on the present moment, on relaxing and falling asleep, having a good night's sleep. So before I get to my 3 techniques, just one that I will mention, which is kind of this little extra, but I do still find it really helpful. So I'll just mention it. And it's just writing everything down. I find that if there's a lot that's stressing you out, if you just write down every little worry that's going through your head, what are you worried about? Write it on paper, and then it just kind of allows your brain to kind of let it go a little bit, breathe a little bit more easily. Same if you have a lot to do, just write down everything that you need to do. It's there. It's going to be ready for you tomorrow. You're not going to forget because it is written down. But again, your brain can just kind of let it go for that time when it's time to sleep. And you'll be able to be much more productive if you sleep well. Okay, so that's the first thing. Just write it all down. Write it down. That's really helped me. Now, when it comes to our 3 techniques, the first 2 are more about preparing you to get into a good mental space and physical relaxation as well, so that you can sleep better. And then the third one is what I actually do to fall asleep. So while I'm doing the third one, that's when I fall asleep. Okay, so let's start with the first one. So these are, of course, when you're going to do it before bed, the first one you would probably sit, you could do it laying perhaps, but probably you'd be sitting on the edge of your bed. So sitting in your chair as you are now is just fine. The second one you'd be laying, but we'll do it sitting, and I'll let you know as we go what to expect from that. So the first one is, I still say it's mindful because I want you to, you're getting mentally ready to sleep. So the part of it, a big part of everything, is your breathing. So if you're able, breathing in and out through your nose, just because breathing through your nose helps you to slow down, breathe a bit slower, lengthen your exhale, lengthen your inhale. And this is that pattern. When you think of someone sleeping, which if you're here, you're probably the one that falls asleep last if you're sharing a bed with someone, you can hear their breathing, right? It's slow, it's steady, it's slow, deep breaths. That's what we're wanting to try to emulate, what we want to start doing. So before we actually go to what the first one is about, let's just focus on the breathing. So let's just do it together. We're going to try to breathe through your nose. If it's more comfortable through your mouth, of course, feel free to do so. But otherwise, just notice your breath to begin. Each inhale, each exhale. And then see if you can lengthen. And by lengthening your breath, I mean taking a little bit of a slower, bigger breath in, and then a bit of a slower, lengthened breath out. So my nose is a little bit squeaky. I'm just getting over a cold, so sorry if you're hearing my squeak. Breathing in and out, just nice and gently, nice and slowly. So while we're doing this next part, this is the breathing I want you to try to be in. I want you to be sitting on the edge of your bed when it comes time to before bed, taking your breathing, noticing your breathing, lengthening your breathing. And then the first thing we're going to do is actually about releasing tension in your neck and your upper back. So the reason why we're focusing on this before bed is because throughout the day, this is a really common area to hold tension. We're stressing, we're lifting up, squeezing without even realizing it. Might not be this extreme, but very common. We slightly tense up when we're either busy working on the computer, we're thinking about something that's maybe stressing us out, or things that we have to do, you're driving. So all this throughout the day, it brings a lot of tension here. So this is the first step, is we're releasing some of that tension so that when you go to bed, then that helps to help you to relax and help you get in a good space. So the first part is actually it's almost like a little massage for yourself. So I want to keep this really short and sweet so that, for one thing, you can remember it. You will have the recording so you can refresh your memory, but I want you to be able to make this a manageable thing as well. So I'm not trying to give you this big, long routine that's great, but you're not going to do it, right? You're not going to spend this whole hour doing all these steps. You want it to be short and sweet, something you can do before bed, and then you can sleep better. Okay, so first one is starting here, this point where your neck and the shoulder kind of joins. So what I like to do, and there's no one exact way, but this is just what feels good for me, and then hopefully it will feel good for you, is placing your hands. I can even turn so you can see better, but kind of bringing it more towards your back, pressing down, applying pressure, and then dragging it forward. So then you're doing this a few times, applying that pressure, pushing down, and then dragging forward. So you can give this a try as well. And you can also kind of adjust. So a little bit more towards the shoulder side, dragging down, a little bit more towards the neck, dragging down. And then just reminding you, as you're doing this, you're breathing. You can notice your breath. Slow, lengthened breaths. So this is the first. So doing this a few times, just as many as feels good for you. Then we're going to move on. So 2 parts to this. That's the first one, more of this connecting shoulder to neck area, and then in the neck itself. So for this, you'll start closer to the base of your neck. Your fingers can be just around to the sides of your spine. Same thing, just on the either side of your spine, you can start to press down, apply your pressure. And then again, we're just dragging it forward towards just until about the sides of your neck. So you don't need to come all the way around here, but you can bring your fingers to the spine and then drag it forward. Doing it closer towards the base of your neck a few times. And then you can move or kind of move up a little higher. So now you're more in the middle of your neck. Again, pressing with your fingers and then dragging it across. And then when it comes to moving closer to the top, right below your skull, you may want to just use 2 fingers to really get into this, because this is going to be your stronger fingers rather than your pointer and ring fingers. So if you use these fingers, bring them just below so you can kind of feel along your middle finger, the base of your skull. So kind of pressing in again to either side and then dragging it across. So it's just almost like you're tracing along the bottom or underside of your skull. And then tracing, pushing along. So it doesn't have to be very long. So just, maybe 3-4 times in each section, moving to the next one, and then you're done. So that's the first technique. Just as a refresher, you're pressing from the back, pulling it forward in this area between your shoulder and your neck. And then along the neck, you're starting at the bottom, moving up. When you get to the top, using your first 2 fingers to drag along underneath your skull. So that's the first section, actually, of part 1. There's one more thing. So first is that little massage. The second part is holding a stretch. So we've already massaged in this area. So now we're going to do a releasing stretch. Focusing first on the left side of your neck, you can use your right hand to come to the side of your head. And then we're basically we're trying to bring our right ear to our shoulder. So guiding your head over. And what we're trying to do is relax. We're not tensing the neck. So using our hand, letting the neck relax, and your hand can just guide it over, not pulling so intensely, but just to a point where you can feel that stretch traveling down the side of your neck. And then just holding for a few breaths again. I want you to remember your breathing, noticing each breath. And then lifting the head back up, we're going to do the side once more. This is going to target closer towards the back. So to get this, we're turning our head as much as we can towards the right side. Then we're angling down with our head, looking down. With our hand, we'll use it again on the back of the head. Again, we're trying to relax the neck and then gently pull down. So getting this different angle will stretch more towards the mid back side of your neck. And then you can let that go. Come back to your starting position. Let's do these on the other side. So this is now going to stretch the right side of your neck. So we're using our left hand on the right side of our head, guiding it over to the side, trying to relax the neck so we can feel that stretch. Taking your nice breaths as you hold. And gently releasing, head back to neutral, adjusting to stretch more towards the backside. We turn to look to the left, and then we angle down. We can use our hand on the back of the head, gently pull down, just applying very gentle, light pressure. And then letting go, we come back up. Good, looking forward. Okay, so that's the complete first technique, is the combination of doing your massage and then doing your stretching. So then this is going to release a lot of the tension that you've been carrying around all day in your neck and your shoulders. And then letting that go can help you sleep better, help you have a more relaxed, peaceful sleep. This is also great as just a stretch if you're working at the computer. So it doesn't have to just be before bed. Okay, so moving to the second one. The second technique, again, this is to help prepare us for sleep. Depending on if you fall asleep on your back, it's possible that you could fall asleep while you're doing this. Personally, I just cannot fall asleep on my back. I have to be on my side. So for me personally, this never is a way that I fall asleep, but it just helps me to get into the zone, so to speak. So this is a body scan. Now there's two ways to do it. One is as a guided meditation, which is what I'm going to do for you right now. We're not going to go through the whole body. I'm just going to give you an idea of what it's like. And then as a bonus for you for signing up today, you're going to get a free audio download of a complete guided meditation body scan. But for today, it's just to kind of show you what it's like and give you a bit of an introduction to it. So with the body scan, basically what it is you're drawing your attention nice and slowly, nice and gently, one section at a time, your face, your neck, your shoulders, arms. So you're just going through each area of your body. And there's different ways to do it in terms of it can be drawing your attention and just trying to soften, trying to relax each area. Or a second one, I'm going to show you both. A second one is called a tense and release. So it's where you're actually, not only are you drawing your attention to an area, but you're tensing the muscles. So for example, with your hands, let's just try the hands for now. Your hands, when they're relaxed, you have this gentle, natural curve in your fingers. But now I want you to tense. And for your hands, you can do it in a couple ways. You can make a fist, squeeze your fist, try that, squeeze, 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 and then just let it go, relax. Another way is to actually straighten and extend. Straight, 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 extend, extend, and then relax. So it's, again, a matter of preference, which one feels best for you. Tensing and releasing with the fist, tensing by extending and releasing. So this is the second option. The tense and release is option 2. Option 1, just drawing your attention, actively trying to relax, soften if you are holding tension. So there's the guided meditation, which I will do for you. Also, you can do this on your own. In your mind, you can draw your attention to your face, your head, going through. So if you're doing it on your own, or even if you do have a guided meditation and you can fall asleep on your back, possibly you fall asleep as you do it. As I mentioned, I can't sleep on my back, so it never happens. But don't worry, that's why I have number 3. Okay, so let me show you both. Just the drawing your attention, and another way of thinking of it is, especially when you're laying down, it won't feel quite the same sitting, but it's almost like making yourself feel like you're sinking into the mattress beneath you, like you're being pulled down. So we're going to do this one first. So you can just sit as you are. I'll just take us through our head, neck, shoulders, arms, and hands. So sitting up nice and tall, you can even just close your eyes here. So for this meditation, we're going to be scanning throughout our upper body, drawing our attention from one area at a time. And as we do this, we're noticing our breathing. If you can, breathing in and out, nice and slow and deep through your nose. And then we start by drawing our attention to our face. You have so many little muscles in your face. And without realizing, you might be holding some tension here. So I want you to actively draw your attention and try to soften, try to relax. Just let all those little muscles in your face let go. And traveling your attention down through your neck, towards your shoulders. Same with your shoulders, maybe holding on to some slight tension in the shoulders up through the upper back. And so again, let's draw our attention here and try to soften, let go. Let them be gently pulled down naturally away from your ears. From your shoulders, we travel down through the arms. Allow your arms to completely relax. From your arms, we travel down through the hands, all the way to the tips of your fingers. Allow the hands to completely relax. You can draw your attention to the natural, gentle curve of each finger as it is in this nice, relaxed state. Noticing your breathing again. We inhale slow and deep, and we exhale slow and steady. And then we'll open our eyes once again. So this is the first version of a body scan where we're not actively doing anything other than trying to relax, but you're going one section at a time slowly, especially with a guided meditation. There's also the soothing sound of the instructor's voice, the reminders to breathe, the reminders to let go. It also makes sure that you're not rushing it. If it's, okay, I need to sleep. Okay, my head, my shoulders, my arms, my hands. So it's making sure it stays at that nice gentle pace. But if it's something that you get comfortable with, you definitely can do this on your own, where you don't need to have any audio playing, and you can just do it mentally through your mind. So that's the first one. I'm going to do one more for you. Same thing. We're just going to do the start of the upper body. This is going to be our tense and release. Now, the face is always one that it always feels a bit funny doing, but you're probably by yourself. And if you're sleeping, or if you're getting ready for sleep, you're probably laying in a dark room, so it's okay. But for your face, it's almost like you think of like sucking on a sour lemon or something. Like we're trying to tense up the muscle. So actively tensing like this and then just letting it go. So before I actually take you through, I'll just go through each one so you can see what to expect. So the face, you can even try it now, really squeeze, and then let go. You can feel that kind of rush as you release from that tense state, the blood kind of flowing through, and it's like that feeling of relaxing, of softening. So while another aspect of this is that we do often hold tension, as I mentioned in the first one, especially like in the face, the shoulders, without realizing it. So when you take it to the extreme where you tense as much as you possibly can and then let it all go, then you're more likely to get to that full level of relaxation. So that's part of the reason why we do it like this as well. For the shoulders, let's just try that before we actually do the meditation. Tensing, squeezing, you'd be in a laying position, but it would be the same thing. You're squeezing, tensing up. You can also probably feel it tensing through the neck and then just letting it go. So same thing. Now with your arms in a chair, what you can do is just bring them away from your body. Just being able to hold your arms out like this is going to mean you're using some of your muscles, so you are tensing it, but you can take it to an extreme by squeezing. It's like you're trying to flex, almost like you're squeezing the muscles. When you're in your bed, it will be just slightly lifting the arms off the bed, lifting them above, and then squeezing. You can even do this without the hands. Just can you tense the muscles in your arm and then let it go? In this case, flopping back by your sides. In that case, it can be even just gently coming back towards the bed. And then for your hands, mention the same thing. So we could even do both. We can do a fist and release, and we can do a extend and release. So just so you know what I'm after when you're closing your eyes, so you know what I mean when we do all this. So if you're in a chair like I am, probably, just bring your arms by your side for this. All right, and now again, let's return to our closed eye position. Turning our attention to our breathing. And I'll be taking you through a body scan throughout our upper body. And what we'll be doing is our tense and release. So we'll be going one section at a time, tensing as much as we're able, and then just letting it go, allowing that area to completely relax. Start with our face. I want you to actively try to tense the muscles in your face as much as you can. Imagine you're sucking on a sour lemon, you're pursing your lips, you're scrunching your cheeks, scrunching your nose, scrunching your forehead, and then just letting it go. And we're going to do this area again, tensing your face as much as you can. And release. Taking a moment before we move on to really notice the sensations through your face after this series of tensing and squeezing, tensing and releasing. We'll travel our attention down through our neck and our shoulders. For this, I want you now to draw your shoulders up by your ears, and I want you to squeeze through the neck, squeeze through the shoulders, tensing here, and then let it go. And we're going to repeat. We can also use our breath here. So as we draw in and squeeze, let's take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, let it go. And again, take a moment just to notice the sensations through your neck, through your shoulders, allowing them to relax. And then drawing your attention to your arms, you can slightly lift your arms away from your body so they're starting to be slightly active. But to make them more, imagine you're trying to squeeze. You can even put a little bend in your elbow, squeeze the muscles. If it's helpful, you can even draw your forearms towards your upper arms to really squeeze, like you're trying to squeeze something between your upper arm and your forearm. And then let it go, relax. And repeat once more, arms away from the body, tensing through the muscles, whether it's just tensing, contracting the muscles, or fully you can draw your forearms towards your upper arms, squeeze as deeply as you can, and then relax. Sensations going through your arms as you rest here in this position. And we'll finish this with our hands. So your hands, let's start by making a fist, clenching a fist as deeply as you can. Squeeze, 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 and relax, let it go. And for our second one, we'll do our extension. So extend your arms, spread your fingers as wide as you can. And then relax. And then gently we'll come back to opening our eyes. All right, so that is our two versions of the body scan. It's just going to take you trying them out and seeing what works best for you. What do you like doing? What makes you feel the most relaxed? So our time is, we're past the 30 minutes. I'm just going to do the last one really quickly. If you do need to go, by all means, please feel free. You're going to get this recording. So this last one is what I actually do while I'm falling asleep, or what's making me fall asleep. So for this, breathing is very important. And it's going to sound very simplistic, but it's not as easy as it sounds, and it takes some practice, and it's going to take coming back to it a few times. So what it is counting down from 100. Sounds so easy, sounds so simple, but this is why it's so helpful. For one thing, you're not just 100, 99, 98, 97. If you do it like that, it's definitely not going to work. So it's matching your breath. So you would, of course, be saying this in your head, but for the sake of you understanding, being able to tell you, I'm going to say the numbers out loud. So it'll be a slow inhale. And then when you exhale, 100. Slow inhale. When you exhale, 99. So it's focusing on, the reason why this is effective is because drawing your attention to something like counting down, it's enough to keep your attention. It's enough to push out the other thoughts, your to-do list, your stress, your daydreaming, whatever. But it's not so much that it's keeping you up, that it's going to not allow you to sleep. It's going to help you stay connected to your breathing. Having that slow, intentional, deep breath is also going to help you to calm down and allow your body to prepare to fall asleep. When you do this, just so you know, it's going to happen, and it happens to me all the time. You're going to be starting out good, 98, 97, 90. All of a sudden, you're thinking about, oh yeah, tomorrow I need to do this. Oh, and then you catch yourself. Oh, wait, okay, here's my thing. Don't go back to 100. It's going to be discouraging if you're always starting back at 100. So usually I can kind of remember-ish. Okay, I was in the 80s. Okay, let me start back at 85. And then I do it again. And then, oh, I'm thinking about something else. Oh, I think I made it to 60 this time. Okay. Only once since I started this has been, for me, this has been the last few weeks. This has been my big thing. Only one time have I made it to 100, or made it to 0. Only once. And that is huge. If you are like me and your mind is constantly whirling away and you lay awake for hours and hours at times, that is a big deal. So I really, really hope that this works for you too. So the big takeaway here is breathing slowly, breathing with intention, doing your counting on your exhale in your mind. If you're also a very visual person, which I find having something to hold on to, like I can see the numbers in my head as well when I'm doing it. I also find helpful. So you can try that as well. But so going slowly, knowing that it is going to happen, your mind is going to wander. Ironically enough, I thought of this analogy last night when I was trying to sleep, but I did eventually get there. I kept at it. Is I think of my attention as like a toddler that you're trying to put to bed, and then it keeps getting out. It wants a glass of water. Okay, no, be patient with it. Put it back to bed. Okay, it's going to get out of bed. It wants new pajamas. Okay, put it back to bed. So my attention span, I kind of think of it like that now. Okay, it's wandered away. I need to bring it back to bed, refocus it. It's going to take a few tries, but you will get there. In the case where you do make it to 0, you just start again. So I said, as I say, this is what's really been working for me. And this is what really inspired me to have this workshop, because this has been a struggle for me forever. And this is the first full thing that's really helped me not just prepare for sleep, which is like what the other things do, which are good and are good as a bundle, but then the actual falling asleep, this is what's worked for me. So I hope that you will find the same. Thank you so much for watching. As a reminder, you can get your copy of those guided meditations that I referred to in the video. Just go to the description, follow that link, and then you'll have your own copies. So I hope that you will have a wonderful sleep tonight. And if you do find these helpful, I would love it if you could just give my video a quick like. It is really helpful for me, and I would really appreciate it. So thanks so much, and I hope that you have the most wonderful sleep tonight.